It's nice to be here with you guys tonight. Tonight I want to talk about fruit, and I want to talk about trees. And I really, as I was praying over the last couple of weeks leading up to this, I did feel like there's a message there in the fruit and trees. God really wants us. He's calling us to be the best tree that we can be. And what I felt as I was praying a couple weeks ago, he said, some of us in this church, we're struggling. We're struggling trees. We're struggling. We're weary. We're tired. We're burdened. Maybe some of us are struggling with sin or thoughts, poor behavior. We're living in sin. We're harboring stuff in our hearts. And that causes us to be a struggling tree. And struggling trees don't produce the fruit that God is calling us to produce. And he is a patient God. He's really good. He's really kind. If you guys didn't know that, just he gives second chances. He gives time after time after time. He's so patient. He's so good. He works with you. But he does make some pretty shocking statements in the Bible, the red letters, about fruit, about what happens if you fail to produce fruit in your life. So he understands there's a maturing process that has to happen. There's a season you have to go through. There is time, and maybe, if there's time, I got a bunch of verses like I usually do and never get to all of them, but we'll see what happens. But there's an interesting parable he shares about that, the patience that he has for the maturing process. But ultimately, he's calling us to be a tree that's healthy, that's strong. Leading up to it, I was fascinated. I'm not much for knowing a lot about nature, knowing a lot about trees and fruits and gardening and all that stuff. Like, that is just not my skill set. I don't even know the name of the person that knows about trees. I couldn't even tell you the name of the person. No idea. Arborist, some say. All right, arborist. We'll go with that. And but as I'm studying trees, I'm fascinated. Like, we live in California. Who didn't know? If you didn't know that, I'm surprised. We'll pray for you afterwards. But California is home to some of the biggest and best trees in the world. Did you know that? Did you know that? Like, within hours of us, you can go and see some of the most magnificent trees in the entire world. The strongest trees in the world, the tallest trees in the world, right here in our backyard. It's pretty fascinating. You can start to learn some stuff as you dive into it. The sequoias. You guys ever seen sequoias? Yes, I love them. They can grow to be 3,000 years old, several hundred feet tall. Just majestic. You walk in the trees, just feel God's presence, Magnificent. They're known for their strength, for their ability to protect themselves from fires. Just amazing trees. You start looking around the rest of the world. There's trees that grow in Asia, the moringa tree. I was going to provide pictures. I didn't, though. But look, every part, it's called the miracle tree. Every part of it is edible. It's used for medicine. It's nutritious. It grows fast. It thrives in poor soil. It's used to purify water. The moringa tree. I might be saying it wrong, but let's go with it. There's an Africa tree of life. I'm definitely going to say this one wrong. The baobab tree. Huge trunks. They're really weird looking, but they store many thousands of gallons of water in their trunks, and they're rich in vitamin C, and they have fruit that has antioxidants in it. They're sacred in many cultures. There's trees around the world that are known for having good fruit, healthy trees, good fruit. There's also trees that are dangerous. There's the manchineal tree, and they produce these lovely things called death apples. In fact, they're so dangerous that most of them have signs posted in front of them not to touch them, not to even get near them. If it rains and you're under it, it can actually burn you and hurt you. If you eat it, it'll cause you to be near death. If you've been waiting for a near-death experience, just go and eat some of these death apples. So stay away from the Caribbean. Stay away from them, all right? Trees, all right? I just throw some nuggets in there for you. But trees, they're pretty fascinating. And as I was preparing for tonight, I really did feel Jesus saying, hey, some of you are struggling trees, but I'm calling you to be the best tree that you can be. The best tree. And so we're going to go to Matthew 7:15 real quick. Jesus speaking, beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. Grapes are not gathered from thorn bushes, nor figs from thistles, are they? So every good tree, say good tree, produces good fruit. But the bad tree produces bad fruit. Thank you. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit, nor can a bad tree produce good fruit. This one's kind of shocking. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is what? Cut down and thrown into the fire. Ouch, not my words, his words. So then you will know them by their fruits. Verse 19. You'll know them by their fruits. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down, thrown into the fire. That is pretty shocking, isn't it? Like I said, good thing he's merciful, he's kind. When I read these verses, I always like to focus on the fruits. My eyes are always drawn to fruit. And I think we pay attention. Let's look for the fruit. Let's examine the fruit. Let's look for it. That'll tell us what kind of tree it is. The fruit is the evidence to the eye of the health of the tree. So when you're seeing fruit, it's actually the evidence to what's going on deeper. Fruit is the symptom a lot of times of the condition of the tree, and we are the tree. The fruit we produce is the product of the health, the state of us, of our faith, of our life, of our heart, of our mind. It's what we produce with that. And that's what fruit is. A lot of times in fruit, it's also, this word is used for your works, your deeds, and your actions, your behavior. And we see that many times in Scripture. That's what this word is used for. The fruit, the behavior, the deeds is what is being a byproduct of the tree itself. You and I were the trees. If we do not produce good works, good deeds, behavior, ultimately Jesus is saying we are going to be cut down or be thrown into the fire. Now, I really believe that in addition to works, deeds, behavior is those thoughts, the fruit of your thought life, the fruit of your heart, what's going on inside of you. What happens inside of you is what comes out of you. It produces those works in your life. And a lot of us, it's tempting. Let's hide our fruit. Let's mask our fruit so no one can actually see the state of our tree, who I am. If I just hide it, or if I just mask it with good fruit, the good deeds, going to church, checking the box, you with me, putting on the mask. If we can hide our fruit, we can cover it up with good fruit. But ultimately, in time, the fruit will reveal the tree. You can only mask, hide, justify, make excuse for so long before the tree is evident, the tree is known. And Jesus, he sees past into the heart, doesn't he? Why? Why do you have to see into our hearts? Ultimately, we look at these verses and we see, okay, my eyes are drawn to fruit. But what I felt Jesus saying is, how often do we actually talk about the tree? How often do we talk about the tree? We want to look, and you hear this a lot in Christianity, let's just deal with the behavior. Let's just correct the behavior. Let's just correct the wrong action. Let's bring a consequence. Those things are needed, right? Bad behavior, there's going to be consequences. Magnitude of the behavior, the more severe consequences. We understand that. Right? But it's more than just correcting the behavior. The behavior is the product, the symptom of the deeper issue. And a lot of times it's that disconnect with Jesus. It's the separation from Jesus. That is the thing creating the bad fruit in our life. It's the not knowing God issue. My heart is far from God. If I do not know God, if I'm not one with God, if I'm not abiding with God, if I'm not listening to God, if I'm not giving my life to God, serving God, loving God, if I'm distant from God, my heart will be poor, my tree will be unhealthy, and my fruit will be nasty. Now, I was going to bring a bag of rotten fruit up here because I found some. Didn't have to go very far. And I'm pretty sure it had like a little slug. I found a slug climbing on my finger. I'm like, this is the right fruit to bring for sure. I was going to like toss it out to you guys. Right? Who wants to eat nasty fruit? We were as we were in worship and I was going around, I was doing my best to just push the thoughts of speaking tonight out, push them aside for a moment, just focus on Jesus. And it was interesting. I was I had the thought, I was like, what if we could see right now in the spirit the fruit that's growing on our trees? Not just the fruit that we're seeing with our physical eyes, because Jesus sees past, he sees that stuff, and that's really good. What if we could see the actual fruit in each other? Like, would that change the way that we started to live? Would that change the way that we started to pursue God, love God, give to God, pursue man, love man, give to man? Like, what if someone could just see you, like, in there? That's a scary thing, isn't it? That is frightening. That is a scary place to be. But the tree is what I want to focus on. The tree is what produces the fruit. The tree is what leads. So the condition of the tree is what creates good fruit or bad fruit. And so what kind of tree are you? What state are you in? What state is your heart in? Is your life in? As I was looking at real trees, came across some interesting things that I think there's some interesting parallels, if you will. A tree's ability to produce good or bad fruit is determined primarily by its health, genetics, and environmental factors. Healthy trees with proper nutrition, water, and pollination produce good fruit, while weak or diseased trees produce poor quality fruit, or none at all. None at all. And there's 5 things I found that can affect those factors. Ready for it? Pests and diseases can weaken a tree, reducing its ability to produce. I start thinking, okay, pests and diseases can weaken a tree. What are the pests and diseases trying to attack our tree in our relationship with Jesus? We're being hit from all angles all the time. Noise, lies, deceit, whatever it is, voice of the enemy, Satan, whispering lies, trying to distort, destroy, manipulate, mislead, misdirect. He is a pest, thank you. Right? It makes sense. That's going to affect the nature of the tree. It can weaken you. It can break you down to where you don't produce fruit at all, or even have an ability to produce fruit. You're broken to the point where you can't even see it's possible. You don't even believe it's possible for you to produce fruit. And maybe some of you are there, broken down to the point where you don't even see the way out. There's zero hope. Maybe that's you. Proper watering and fertilization are crucial for a healthy tree. Are we getting our nutrition from Jesus? Are we being fed on Jesus? Are we watering our souls with Jesus? Are we feasting on him? When he says, eat my flesh and drink my blood, are we doing that? Are we partnering with him and getting full of him? A tree with strong roots and a root system is more likely to produce abundant, high-quality fruit. Some trees, they link roots with other trees around to become even stronger, like the sequoias. They don't grow deep, but they grow wide, and they intermingle, and they latch on to other roots, and they become even stronger. It's like we need people. We need each other to be healthy, to be abundant, to be fruit-producing trees. We need each other. We need each other. Poor soil conditions can hinder root development. So many parables about the soil and the farmer and the planting of the seeds and the soil of our heart. Again, what condition is your heart in? What's the soil of your heart? Is it ready to receive? Are you in a position to actually receive and respond? Is your heart hardened? Is it callous? Is it turned off from the truth? Is it responsive to the truth? Does it recognize when the truth is at the door, when it's knocking? Open up the door, let me in. Is it in a place where it can recognize it and respond to it? Or is it hardened ground? Is it rocky soil? The last one, you guys like this. Proper pruning can improve fruit production. Pruning. Pruning often feels like discipline. But there's something to that. And we'll get there. Let's go to Ephesians real quick. Ephesians 4:17. So I say this and affirm in the Lord, you are no longer to walk as the Gentiles walk, in the futility of their minds, being darkened in their understanding, excluded from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the hardness of their heart. Is it up there? Am I reading too fast? Because of the hardness of their heart. And they, look at the effect of a hard heart, having become callous, have what? Given themselves up to indecent behavior, bad fruit, for the practice of every kind of impurity with greediness. So a hard heart, a darkened mind, leads to a hard heart, leading to indecent, I like he kind of softens it a little bit, indecent behavior, which is poor fruit. He says, you did not learn Christ in this way, if indeed you have heard him and have been taught in him, just as truth is in Jesus, that in reference to your former way of life, you are to rid yourselves of the old self, which is being corrupted in accordance with lusts of deceit, and that you are to be renewed in the spirit of your minds, and to put on the new self, which in the likeness of God has been created in righteousness and holiness of the truth. It's a choice. It's a choice. You choose to put on the new self or not. I like in both examples, it's the mind. A dark mind leads to a hard heart, which leads to poor behavior, indecent behavior. And we can go over to the fruits of the Spirit in Galatians, and it lists both of them. There's the fruit of the flesh, which comes before the fruit of the Spirit, but fruit being deeds, behavior. And here Ephesians is telling us in the mind, where the transforming of your mind leads to putting on the new self, which is made in the likeness of Jesus, bringing forth righteousness and holiness and truth. That sounds like good fruit to me. Every tree that does not produce good fruit is going to be what? Cut down and put in the fire. So what kind of tree are you? What fruit are you producing? Matthew 5:8, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. They're going to see God. Psalms 24, who may ascend the hill of the Lord? Who may stand in his holy place? One who has clean hands and a pure heart, who's not lifted up his soul to falsehood and not sworn deceitfully. He will receive a blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. Pretty good stuff, huh? The Bible is stocked full of the heart. Verses on the condition of the heart, the state of the heart. That is what matters. How many times Jesus says, their heart, they honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Out of the heart come this and that and this and that. And so this word clean, it's actually, I want to go to John 15, because we can talk about fruit, we can talk about the need to be a good tree, but how do we actually get that heart that he wants us to have? Because it can be overwhelming at times to examine your heart. Because you know what's in there. You know what's there. I was in a session today dealing with some inner healing, and you get stuff that's revealed in there, the lies that you hold on to, that feel like friends, that feel like comfort, and you know what's there. And to actually see that and look at it and bring it out under a magnifying glass is uncomfortable. And how do we actually get a clean heart, Jesus? Because if that's what you're saying we need to produce good fruit so that we can be one with you, how do we actually get a clean heart? So let's go to John 15. You guys okay? I am the true vine. I love these verses. I know they're familiar, but I love them. Every time I read them, I love them again. And my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that bears fruit, he prunes it so that it may bear more fruit. You are already clean. Say clean. Because of the what? The word I've spoken to you. Clean. Just stay there for a second. You are clean because of the word I have spoken to you. What that actually means is the clean is you're purified. And not only that, but it's actually, you are fit to bear fruit, is what that's saying, because of my word. So as you step into my word, not just hearing them, embracing them and living them, as you step into my word, you are purified and you're actually become fit to produce fruit. We cannot do this apart from his word. And he says this, abide in me. Abide, remain, do not depart, to be present in me. And it's not just us abiding in him. He says, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine, so neither can you unless you abide in me. Where are we at? Verse 5. I am the vine, you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him, he bears what? Much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away as a branch and dries up. And they gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, it will be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit and so prove to be my disciples. That's a pretty good word, huh? But he repeats abide so often. Abiding, there's something about this, making my home. How do I actually get a clean heart? Not by just wishing for it. I wish to have a clean heart. I wish to change this action. If it was that easy, we'd all be perfect, wouldn't we? None of us would be guilty or without fault, would we? No, but it actually comes from that abiding, that relationship with Jesus. And we hear that word, and guess what? It just goes, we just tune it out. I just tune it out. I've heard that before. Relationship, I get it. Christian, yeah, relationship. That is the answer. That is how you are fit to bear fruit, is actually the abiding. Hey, Jesus, I'm in you, and not only that, but you're letting him into you. And it's this two-way street. I'm choosing to make my home in you, and for some reason, you're choosing to make your home in me. You want to see me, but you also want me to see you. And we want this abiding, this interlinking, this connection, this bond, so that your words can purify me and actually put me into a position to where I can bear fruit and I can choose to put on the new self. He says, apart from me, you can't do that. So me trying to do that on my own strength is not going to lead me towards the direction he wants me to go. The only way I can get to where he wants me to go is by doing that, is the abiding. And why we tune that out so often, and when I say we, I mean me, why I tune that out so often, oh yeah, I know that, I've heard that before, is beyond me. That is the literal place he's calling you to be the strong tree, to be the healthy tree that produces the fruit that leads to life with him. You actually have to make your home with him, which means letting him see you, taking off the mask, removing the justification for wrong deeds, removing the need to cover that up, and actually letting him see you, the real you. And not putting up walls to it, not keeping it at a distance, but saying, Jesus, here I am. I'm wide open. As scary as that is to be exposed to you, here I am. If I don't have a clean heart, I can't actually see you. And so if that's what you're saying, then I want it. If that's what it looks like, then I want it. I want the clean heart. I want to be the strong tree. I want to be the tree that you've called me to be. And I want to lay that out there for you guys tonight. He's patient. He's kind. Trees don't just produce fruit overnight. They don't produce fruit instantly. But there is a day when you will give account for the fruit that you've produced. And you have to start somewhere. And Steve talked a lot about foundation recently. You need the foundation to build upon. If you start now building into that healthy tree, the nutrients, the soil, giving it what it needs to grow, to be strong, so that it can be healthy, so that it can be productive and fruit-bearing, then it's worth it. Has to start somewhere. But eventually, Jesus is gonna call account for you, for the fruit that's in your life. And maybe you're like, hey, there's a lot of good fruit in my life. awesome. Don't dismiss that. But maybe there's one area he's highlighting and saying, let's look at that tonight. And will you invite me into that place tonight? Will you invite me into that thought life? Will you invite me into that action? Will you actually allow him to show you if there's bad fruit growing in your life? Will you allow him to show you? Because the best thing you can do is actually expose it to him so you guys together can deal with it. And then you can begin to grow in the direction that he wants you to grow. So let's pray. And if you'd like someone to pray for you tonight, we'll have a ministry team up here. This is actually really good news. Jesus sees you right where you are. He hasn't lost hope in you. He loves you. He sees you. He wants what's best for you in your life. He's calling you deeper. He's calling you farther. He's calling you to run after him. Jesus, we love you. Jesus, we thank you. We thank you that you care about the condition of our tree. You care about the condition of our heart. You care about the condition of our minds. And we don't want to become complacent. We don't want to become ignorant. We don't want to become isolated from you, selfish. We want to be able to expose our hearts and our minds and our thoughts to you. We want to have life with you. We want to abide in you, Jesus. So we give you permission to come and speak to us. And even now where you're at, just give him permission. Just ask him to show you. Jesus, is there anything in me? Is there any fruit in me that reeks? Is there fruit in me that's rotten? That stinks? Anything that you want to deal with in me tonight? Would you show me? And Lord, help us not to deal with it alone. Help us to deal with it with you. Apart from you, we can do nothing. Help us to make our home in you. We want to have life in you. Thank you that you're our good Father, that you see us and you hear us. You know us and you love us. Amen. Amen. If you're feeling convicted, if you're feeling like you just want to respond tonight, whatever way it is, you can do it at your seats, but you can come forward. If you come forward, someone will come up here and pray for you. I encourage you to respond in some way to him tonight. Thank you guys for being here. God bless you guys. Be praying for the ladies as they go away on the retreat for a couple days while the men are suffering at home alone, watching sports. All right. Bless you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you so much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. And please make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos or our live stream. You can also support the Father's House financially by clicking the Give button. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.